Hello everyone, this is Toya and thank you for watching Toya J TV. This is week 13 of the How to Stretch Your Relaxer series. Okay, so for some of you that are going to 16 weeks, you only have 3 weeks left. You could actually do a protective style right now and get you over to the next 3 weeks. Okay, you have it really easy right now. As for me, I am going another, 12 weeks or so? 11 weeks. Yeah, I'm going another 11 weeks. So basically what I am doing, I just shampooed my hair. I used the Silk Hydration by L. Jones Extreme Clean Clarifying Shampoo. Then I used the moisturizing shampoo. And I did that first thing this morning while everyone was sleeping. And I'm going to tell you a little trick to get some deep conditioning in. What I did after that was I put my deep conditioner on. I knew that I still had to get the kids to school, but who is going to drop their kids off looking like this? Well, basically not even like this. This actually looks better, but with the deep conditioner just all slathered in my hair. You know, I'm not going to do that. So what I did was I put the deep conditioner on, put a plastic Publix bag over my head, because that's what I have. For some reason, I don't keep a lot of things that I need at home. I keep them in the salon. So I use what I have. So I use the plastic Publix bag and put that on, secured that down, and then I put my wig cap on top of that and put a wig on top of that. So at about approximately 7 o'clock-ish, sometime within the early 7 o'clock hour, I dropped my kids off at school. I ran my errands. I did everything I needed to do. Came home, ate breakfast, and then after that, I rinsed it out. So between the time I dropped the kids off and the time I actually rinsed it out was probably about 2 hours. So, you know, normally I would have just probably worn a bun or something like that until I got home and then washed it all. Then I would have had to, you know, wait to do the deep conditioning treatment. So basically I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I was deep conditioning while running errands and doing everything else I needed to do. So that's a little tip for you all. You do not have to go out looking crazy. And for those of you all that say, I don't wear wigs, I don't do weave, I don't da la 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 la. Look, I'm telling you, get you a wig. You know, you don't, and I make wigs also, by the way. If you want a very realistic looking one, you don't have to get one that looks wiggy. You can get one that actually looks like your hair. Every time I wear a wig, especially if it's like a bob or something like that, nobody knows. That they always say, oh my goodness, you cut your hair, it is so cute. Even other hairstylists are fooled, okay? So you don't be afraid that it's gonna look crazy, because you can get one that looks very, very, very natural. All right, so anyway, week 13, I'm doing something very unheard of for me. Okay, I am going to rod set my hair. This will probably not happen again for another 1 to 2 years, but and I don't even know what's making me do this, because if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I feel some kind of way about curly hair on me. Now, I think it looks great on other people, but on me, I do not like curly hair. But nevertheless, I'm going to do it anyway. So right now, I'm just going to start by, I've already rinsed the deep conditioner out, and then I put my leave-in conditioner on. And since I'm not wearing anything straight or down, you know, I'm not wearing a style that's going to have a whole lot of just body and movement. I mean, the curls will move, but not like, you know, how I like for my straight hair too. So this is the time to load up on the moisture. Someone asked me, how often do I suggest doing a deep conditioning treatment? And my answer to that is basically, I like to do one at least once a month or every other month. It just depends on what your hair needs. Okay, and so I'm using a combination. I'm just going to see which one does best, but I'm basically going to use the bigger rods, these green ones. If there's some shorter pieces like at the top, the layered parts that need it, I'll use the smaller ones. But I'm going to be using basically mix and matching these two. And then another reason why I'm just like, why am I doing this, is because I do not have a sit up under dryer at home anymore. Okay? So basically, I don't know how this is going to dry. I'm going to let it air dry some, and then I think I'm going to possibly use my my blow dryer to blow dry some, you know, and then let the rest air dry. I have all day. I'm not going anywhere else today. So I'm gonna see how this is gonna work out for me. And normally every time I do a I'm gonna get that a little tighter. Normally every time I do a rod set, I always question myself halfway through, like, why am I doing this? Okay. All right, so again, I'm using the green rods, and they're fairly bigger, larger than just a traditional perm rod, which is what I wanted, because I really don't want those just really tight curls, which is why I decided that I'll probably mix them up. I'm not sure if I have enough. I just, you know, grabbed them while I was at the salon. So I'm hoping that I grabbed enough. But if I did not, I'll have the orange ones to kind of make up the difference. All right, you guys, so week 13. And also I'm going to be curling it in panels. The same way I do when I flat iron it, I'm going to go in panels. And I did choose to get the kind of deeper side part because I want them kind of coming a little bit in my face. But so week 13, it should be getting easier actually for you at this point, simply because as your new growth, it's really hard to manage just a little bit of new growth. Okay, so if you only have just a teeny tiny bit of new growth, sometimes that is kind of hard to get to. And then just for the back, I'm going to use the small ones. Just for maybe like the first two rows. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to manage just a little, like half an inch of new growth. It's much easier to manage it if you have a little bit more, because you're able to straighten that out if you need to. A lot of people can't get that close to their scalp to straighten it when it's just baby, you know, a little baby, I don't even want to call it a wave, a little baby ripple or what have you. But as it grows out, especially when you get like 1 to 2 inches, it's easier to straighten that. And then once you have it straight, you just simply tie it down. You know, when you wrap it as tight as you can, but you know, not tight enough to give you a headache, but you want it secure because you want it to lay down. And then after that, you just it'll stay straight for the week. But as you continue to stretch, you should notice less breakage, less shedding, and that's because your hair is strengthening. Your hair is getting stronger. So that's why I want to continue to encourage all of you to stretch. Like, I don't consider 8 weeks a stretch because, you know, 8 weeks is still too soon. Like, some people figure as long as it's over 6 weeks, that's technically stretching. And again, my philosophy is you want to have enough new growth to where when you get your relaxer, there is none that is getting overlapped. Well, what was I thinking by doing these curls? Lord have mercy. And I'm using the foam wrap because the setting, when I don't use setting lotion at all anymore, and that's just because the setting lotion, it makes the hair hard. So I like to use the foam wrap because the foam wrap will you'll still have soft curls. All right, so I'm moving on to the next panel. And then also this foam wrap helps it dry. And again, I go in panels just because I do not, I have a better chance of the hair not leaving any hair out. Okay, I feel like I left a piece of hair out back there. Sometimes I wish I could clone myself and do my hair, right? Make a exact replica of myself and have myself do my own hair. Because all of this, putting your hands up behind your head, I mean, it's much different doing someone else's. Okay, you guys, so I am done. And so I don't know how this is gonna dry. I guess I'm just gonna, I don't know. I'm gonna let it air dry some, and then I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna take the blow dryer to it first. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, kind of go around it with the blow dryer as much as I can, get it mostly dry, and then I'll let it air dry the rest. Like I said, I don't really plan on going anywhere. I may check it, you know, take maybe a curl or two loose just to check it and see exactly how dry it is, but I'm not gonna actually style it until in the morning. So I will be back. We're gonna see how this is gonna work with no hooded dryer. So I threw away my dryer when we moved from one house to the next because I was like, oh, I'm never sitting under a dryer ever again. That's what I told myself. And here we are, I need it. Part of me wants to just run up to the salon real quick and sit up under the dryer, but the other part of me does not want to leave my house. So we're gonna see how this is gonna work. Going to the salon will always be a plan B. But for now, I'm just gonna let it air dry and let my blow dryer do the rest. So I'll be back.